Hey, welcome back. Thank you again for watching. We tried this stream earlier in the week and I messed up and did some, I don't know what I was thinking. I thought I would run some audio of the videos that we're about to watch here, and it got hit with copyright strikes. Every one of them. Like as soon as the stream was over, I kept hearing my phone ding and it had like 12 or 15 copyright strikes right away. So thanks for joining. Tonight we're going to be watching live. This is a filmmaker. She does amazing visual effects with just what I can tell is just a phone. There might be another camera in some of the videos. Originally, when I did the original stream, I had never watched any of these other than a 2 or 3 when I first found her page. So I have gone through them once before. We watched them. If you've joined us before, thanks for hanging out. But I have all the information in the description of this video if you want to check her out on Instagram and on TikTok. You can watch these yourself on replay. I think they're really inspiring, and you're about to see this. So let me bring up the chat here. So we got Christian. Bad Karma's here. Christian was helping me out with my audio earlier, so now we're rolling. We're rolling smooth. All right. Hey, Bad Karma. Let's do this again. You ready? I'm going to go through this a little bit more. I messed up, as I said before, with the copyright. I thought if I kept it low and made like a commentary on it, it wouldn't get hit, but it eventually got hit, all the songs. It was crazy. All right, so let me bring up the visuals for my phone. So like I said, we're on TikTok right now, and we are watching, Visual Magic is the TikTok channel, but the majority of these are the filmmakers' effects. And there's a few here. I think they're really cool. And you can just keep me posted. Hey, Eric, you can keep me posted if there's anything you want me to go back to and watch, and we're just going to do it. So thanks again for hanging out. Let's see what this is. This one, I don't understand exactly what's happening. So it's like painted on, but is the water cold? Is that what's going on? Oh, it's like salt? I don't know what that... There's nothing in the description. You can let me know if there's something going on here. I'm thinking though, maybe it's hot. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's hot and then it's in cold, ice cold water. Is that possible? Hey, Aleem, thanks for hanging out. Awesome, awesome. We're watching this filmmaker. She just goes by BKSYSHOW, and I don't know why I'm still hanging out on this one, but this is just to get us warmed up here. These are just a few, I can never say the word, preliminary videos. Cool effects. Let's see what this is. This is more of a practical art piece. Just using, oh yeah, this is wild. Look at this. I guess I can watch straight ahead here. Just like using a little top. See, this is what the cool thing about a lot of this art is, that it's inspiring, and at least the stuff on this page, it doesn't seem like there's anything that we couldn't do. We could do this. It's LCD, I think. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, Liam, thanks for hanging out and watching the show previously. Sorry I haven't been uploading as much as I want to. I've been working a lot on Peter Sripol channel. If you haven't known that or seen that, you can check out. You won't really see me that often, but you'll see my editing work and the video production and stuff. And I'm always there somewhere in the background running for my life. But that's usually what I'm doing primarily all the other times that I'm not sitting here at midnight doing live streams. All right, yeah, Aleem, hopefully this will help. Okay, let's get going. So we'll move along here. What do we got here? It's so much different now because we have these cool, each one of these videos has really cool soundtracks. So I would definitely recommend going there on your own and just checking it out. And the cool thing is you can go there on just a web browser. You can go and actually access all these videos if you click the link in the description of the video. So you don't need to download the app and all that stuff if you don't want to. This is a crazy animation. I have a feeling like because of just the way it's done, I wonder if it's projected and then they just, because that's, I mean, totally possible, but who knows? Oh, cool. You watch Liam, you watch Peter. That's cool. Yeah. Okay. So here's another one. This one, I'm just going to let this play through once because some of these, it's like, what? Like, how is that even possible? I don't understand. I don't understand. Isn't that crazy? All right, and like I said, if I said it, I'm going to have this all muted because of the copyright strike. So turn on some music in the background if it sounds a little too awkwardly quiet. That way you can have the music of your choice. This is a really cool effect, actually. I think that's something This is one I want to try. You can use some leftover fireworks and just give it a try. I bet you could probably do all kinds of stuff. And like things like this, like if you're not an artist, you can just cut out an actual photo of a deer from like an old magazine or something. Like that's the thing, like innovate, right? What do we got here? Another animation. I think that's her as well. It's hard to tell. Oh, it's another animation. See, they look the same. That's what's making me wonder if it's projected. Wow, that's so much work. That's a lot of work for... I mean, I think it's awesome, but it's like, wow, could that have just been created just using digital effects? Anyways, but all of these are practical effects, which I think is really cool. And I tried this before. If you get, like just with your phone, I had this little stupid fidget spinner. These things are still around. And I put little stickers on each one, and I had a stick figure that moved, and you can see it on my TikTok if you want. But if you get the camera under really bright light and lock the exposure, the shutter speed will be so high, it'll create that high shutter speed needed, and it'll replicate this animation style, which is pretty neat. All right, we're almost there. We're getting there. Looks like we're doing some spray paint. Let's see what we got here. I guess I keep saying I can just look ahead and watch the screen in front of me. It looks like I'm actually looking at it, doesn't it? Whoa, did you see that? That's like old cartoon type stuff. Wile E. Coyote. Is anyone old enough to remember that? I've seen enough. All right. This was one I marked before because I have to try it. Because is it fake or is it real? Let me know. Leave a comment. What do you think? Is that just a visual effect? Doesn't it seem like impossible? Right? Am I going to get scammed when I try this out myself? Because I'm going to totally try it. I should have set it up to try it today. And I could have showed a playback of what it actually worked out to be, which I think would be awesome if it did. I just don't know because it goes up and then over. It looks CG. This might be the only one that might not be real. But I want it to be real. Either way, I'm going to try it out. So mark that one down. I'm going to try that. And even if I end up doing a live stream, remind me, I'm going to come back and give it another I'll show you the playback of that. This is an accordion drawing. These are really cool. This is fun stuff. And I mean, look at that. You can just use a little piece of paper. Conversation pieces, right? Yeah, you think it, Alex, you think that's CG? Yeah, it probably is. Oh, we'll come back to that. You can check that out later. Yeah, it probably is CG. It just has such a CG look, but I'm like, wouldn't that be amazing if that was just a weird anomaly that happens? Oh, so that's pretty cool. Another animation. Moving right along. What do we got here? Okay, okay. Now that almost doesn't even look real. Is it? Doesn't that look like... That's wild. That's the kind of thing that, like, things like that, I think, how cool would that be for, like, set dressing? Put something like that in the background, and it's just there, and it's just, like, some future tech or something. It's like, what? Is that possible? Probably would have to tie it down with a string. Would probably keep it locked in so it wouldn't fly off. I really hope this one's not fake, too. Wouldn't that be a bummer? As far as I know, the rest of these are totally doable, right? Is this one, Alex, is what you're talking about, the one with the fans? Oh, come on, man, you're bursting my bubbles here. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Painting. These are always crazy when they do these ginormous... Is it... What? Look how do those cards stay up outside like that? That's what. Okay, this isn't what we're here for. We're going to move past this one. You can go and check these out. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting into... I have to keep looking. It's BKSYSHOW. It's just... And most of these, I think, are the retimed slow motion. And you can see here... I want to say this is a cell phone, but now that I see it with that depth of field, they might not all be phones. But if you have slow motion on your phone, you can at least try the effect. You might not have that same visual depth of field, but as we'll see in some of these, it looks like some of the stuff's added in post, like that shallow depth. There's going to be like 15 videos. So if you're able to hang out, that's cool. If not, you can come back and watch the replay. That's pretty cool. So let's move on here. Oh, this is the one. This is the video that I saw that actually led me to find the channel, because I was like, who is this? This is such a neat idea. If you watch this video, and this is kind of crazy, because look at this. This, I can't, that has to be some added effect right there with that flame. But take a look at what she's using. She's using a tape measure as the pulley system in that little cart with the phone. You know what? And it's funny, now that I have a fresh eye on these, I'm like, wouldn't that be a bummer if this is sort of like not real? Am I getting scammed? Am I scamming you by me getting scammed? Unless they're doing tons of After Effects work, or post-production work, it doesn't seem like that fast movement of the phone could create such a shallow depth to do this, right? Unless it's just layered with all kinds of post effects. Wow, I might have to do a follow-up video to this and challenge some of these to see if it's even possible. Well, either way, you can at least get an idea. So even if it doesn't look exactly like this, maybe you'll come up with something even more original yourself. Yeah, that's what I don't know. And that's where the only way to do that, you would have to lock the focus as the shallow depth. But this is where I think they added it. And because it's just frame by frame, you can look, because once the lighter goes up, I think that right there, the hand comes up, and I think they're like rotoscoping around, because there's even like that little thump that happens, that visual thump. All right, let's keep moving here. All right, this seems doable. Those are those little strings that you would see on balloons, right? And just some backlighting. And I know you will see a lot of this with the blue and the red or the amber lighting. Highlights the skin tones really well. Yeah, now this one, here we go. Now we got one. This is doable, I think. Really easy way to create a music video. Water. She's just kicking it with her knee. And I know something with water and smoke, backlighting it so the lights between you and that subject, let's say, backlighting it always makes it look better. And you can see it really highlighted here where it's giving a little bit of a lens flare on the camera. I think some of that's added in post. But then just look at that, just as simple as, that's pretty neat though. Like you think about a music video, just a simple tray, just kicking it gives it a little effect. Let's see what this is all about. I'm seeing a theme here, water. Spinning water. That's crazy. What? Yeah, that is wild. And see, I'm thinking, this is where I'm thinking that maybe some of this is post-fade. See how that looks dissolved right there? I don't know. All right, let's keep moving along here. Bubbles. There's the same mechanism again. Now this one looks doable. This one looks like it would have been correct. The only thing I don't see, and I didn't look for it in the other video, I don't see the string pulling it, right? Isn't that what it shows in that preview? Like she's pulling that string. Okay, let's look for the string. Do you see the string? We're gonna go back for a second now. Now I feel like we should see the tape measure, right? Let's see here. All right, sorry. We'll have to investigate that again a little later. Where were we? I think we were here. We got that. We got that. All right, next one. And some of these get pretty elaborate, but it's all about that one-man band kind of a thing. Like, look, she's just got the selfie stick and that pull string mechanism, and there you go. You got slow motion flower petals. And a lot of these are going to be a lot more visually interesting with the music soundtracks that are on there. Let's see what we got here. Cup with holes in it, and spin it. Okay, that's cool. Probably really, this would be one of those things like to do in the backyard, probably, because you're going to have like a lot of water going everywhere. But it looks really neat. All right, hairdryer, phone. She throws up some stuff and shoots out the money. It's really interesting to watch this with a fresh pair of eyes, because a lot of these I watched them for the first time in the other one, and seeing them again, I'm realizing like she puts the phone up on that little wooden stand, but that's not where the visual, that's not the perspective we're looking at. Right? You see that where it doesn't, it's like side, it's like, I see. She has the camera on the phone flashing flashes. That's where the flashes are coming from. Let's see if we see any on her face. There it is. That's what it is. Okay, see that? That's pretty neat. These are kind of like, you have to like solve the mystery of how the effects, the stuff you don't see. So there it is. Aline, what do you mean when you say you're feeling a lot of post? Like you like a lot of these effects that's happening? Is that what you're saying? Ooh, glitter. I've only dealt with glitter once, and it's really all you have to do is deal with it once, and you'll deal with it the rest of your life because it'll be on everything forever. But that looks really cool. That shallow depth of field. I wonder if there's anything more natural that could get that same effect. Maybe like pieces of ice or something. Here we go. A little blender. Oh, more glitter. Look at that. That's like a camera equipment's worst nightmare. This would definitely be, now this would be really cool to create some keyable backgrounds and stuff, because if you were just doing this effect, lit it really well, and just filmed a bunch on black, you could do like a luma key thing and really create like some galaxy backgrounds or some really cool things. All right, let's see what we got here. Looks like a little fog machine. I don't know if that's a fog machine or if it's just like a mister, like a humidifier. Nice, that's cool. Get some use out of those little action figures if you got any. There's the blue and red lights. Yeah, that's fun, and you can even pull some cool stills out of that too, right? Looks like more glitter, except this time it's in liquid. They definitely put a really nice color grade on everything. Yeah, all of these I'd want to do like outside or at your friend's house, right? Sorry about the mess. See ya. That's pretty neat. And like a lot of these, like when I see that, I just think instantly, I'm like, oh, that'd be like a cool slow motion background, blur it out. It's just really obscure, kind of surreal looking. All right. Boom. I mean, it works if you're really desperate and you're by yourself, or you're doing something you're just too embarrassed to have your friends come help you with. Like, there you go. You have leaves flying all over the place. Like, that looks crazy amazing. I don't see the lid flying in those slow-mo shots, so I wonder how many times they had to do that to get all those different angles, but that's really neat. This is just ideal. Like, obviously though, look at that. It's like time remapped, plus there's like those digital pumps and like blurs and camera shake. Got a little bit of chalk. And she's like whipping around the selfie stick. That's totally on a phone. So these are all doable. What would you need that for? Either way though, and I think the thing is, like, these are really short clips and they're showing so much of the behind the scenes. It would be interesting to see some of these effects, just the effects themselves, so we're not getting that behind the scenes look, because I think it does for me. It affects the way it's hard to take in the effect because I'm thinking about how it's being done. But if you think about that, some character just flipping up a coin or doing something like with their keys, and it's just showing that, it'd be pretty neat. So we got here. We got some yams. All right. What are we doing here? This is like going a little bit of, it's all about variety. I see where they're going. Wow, let's pause that. That looks like too real. That looks so real. It looks like the actual picture, right? I guess it's fun, right? Fire, light. That's an interesting rig, that big ladder looking thing. I wonder if that comes in very handy. So this just looks like time remap stuff with just some lighting and some smoke, which is cool to see. And that's something like, I don't know if a lot of you get opportunities like this. The cool thing about the old days compared to now, it's a lot cooler now because your phone, you can just put it on selfie mode so you can you can see yourself, and you can create effects like this and instantly get it, like test stuff out, compared to like the old days. It was like this whole thing where you get the camera set up, plugged into a TV, position the TV somewhere where you can get it. It's crazy, so much work, but you can learn a lot. That's cool. Let's see what else we got here. Potatoes. Cutting some stuff out. Another silhouette art. Okay, let's see what we got here. Potato slices. All right, that's something, right? Kind of cool. Yeah, camera rig goals. Just a ladder and some rubber bands. Let's see what we got here. We got some seeds, some clouds, or some cotton, I guess was going to be clouds or smoke. Let's see what this looks like. What do you think? Is it going to look good? Probably. Yeah, that's something. You know what? And seeing this, that would be another example where if you didn't want to try to actually draw like they're drawing these, you could probably just cut out actual magazine people and create the same kind of little illusion like this. I know on one of my TikToks I did it with plastic army men, and just by shining a light on it, it shines this. Well, you know what? We'll bring it up later. So if you stick around, you can watch that. Let's see. We're almost to the end of this roll here. Oh yeah, the D90s, like so much work, so much work. And even I know, like even having a phone, it sometimes if you get far enough back, you can't see yourself. And some really nice setups that I've seen where people have their giant screen, flat screen TV on a cart with the HDMI, and it's like, that would be ideal. But I think more so would be just to have someone help you. Then it's fun for everyone, right? So this pretty much is just letters shooting out of a book, which is another TikTok that I made. I usually just say I made a video because I made a TikTok. I made a video. But I did a tutorial about these little letters that are used for Super 8mm film for home movie titling. And they were real popular back in the 60s and 70s, and you could probably do that same effect with some of those. I'll show you that video too. Let's see what else we got here. Some cutouts. So that's it. You just jump and turn. It's all about that slow-mo. And I know like the newer cell phones, some of them will get up to like 240 frames a second, but you need a lot more light. So that's something they're not really showing. Like you need a lot more light, but like that looks really great. I have a feeling there is a small camera. I think in one of the videos I did see it where it's like it's a camera that isn't a phone. All right, let's watch this one and I'll answer that question for you. Clean day. All right, water, umbrella. Definitely the post-production work really helps. That little like boom effect like that, and the whole camera shakes. That's just water and stuff. All right, so let's see. Clean day. What advice do you have for someone editing 10 different projects, all with upcoming due dates? Oh my goodness. Don't be hanging around watching a live stream at midnight if that's the case. No. Honestly, like what I experienced, I do the easiest one first. Because what happens is if you do the hard ones first, you'll get them done, but you'll get so burned out from them that the easy ones will then become hard. That's my theory on it. So if you have more than one video, if I'm reading that correctly, you're editing 10 different projects, I would say go through and say, okay, what's the easiest one to turn around? Do that one, and it'll just be that motivator of like, boom, boom, scratch it off the bottom. Do not sleep. Yeah, Alex has it right. All right, let's see what we got here. I think we're getting pretty close to the end here, so hopefully these are still interesting for you. I think it's really cool, and unfortunately I have seen some of these before and I'm seeing them again for the first time, but it's still my reaction because I'm seeing with a fresh pair of eyes, because now I'm seeing that some of the effects might be a little overdone in editing, or maybe shot not necessarily with a phone. But look, that's just fun with water, so it's pretty neat. I mean, water, lights, you can see here something as simple as that suddenly looks cool. And I got it here. I mean, this light right back here is just one little light from eBay. Got for like $6. It changes color. It's a real cheap little LED light. Nothing fancy. Water and bubbles in this one. All right, that's pretty slick. Now I can see if that, see right there, like that would be a neat effect for like a product or something. Whoa, that was inside the bubble. Did you see that? Moving right along. Are any of you on TikTok? Do you create any videos on there? I know it's been getting a lot of news lately because of privacy and things like that, but there's some really inspiring film. I call them filmmakers. They're people that have never made videos or anything, and they just started publishing stuff on TikTok using the app effects and different editing options that are available within the app, and they're like totally creating TikTok originals, I would call them. They're vertical films, basically. Bring that back. Yeah, Free Time Filmmaker. It's still going. It's on Instagram right now. I do still post to it. Oh yeah, TikTok did get banned in India. But yeah, on Instagram, and I'm still posting to it. And it's something so here, yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Let's get through this. I think we're getting close to the end here. Oh, well, okay. Look at that. I think those are like the gelatin balls that they fill with liquid. I was mentioning before when I saw this, I always wanted to do just kind of like a parody, but also real, like a lens ball review, because they all kind of create the same effect. It just inverts the image and it's like a ball shape, but they have these huge crystal balls. I was doing some research. I mean, these things are expensive. These things get like $1,000 for like a huge crystal. I thought, how funny would that be just to have that out there holding it? Maybe I'll still do it. It just seems like ridiculous for what it is, but that's a neat idea. Just kind of throwing them all up, and then especially the close-ups, like that would be neat. But Free Time Filmmaker, I'm even more. This is part of it. I should have labeled this Free Time Filmmaker because of these effects like this. This is stuff you do after you're hanging out on a live stream at midnight, and you go, you know what? I'm gonna just film some stuff with my phone and play it back in slow motion. A lot of this stuff, like you can see here, she's doing by herself. And I mean, obviously there's behind the scenes stuff getting filmed by somebody, but without having to film that, you could do that by yourself. But I'm still passionate about it because I feel like more so now than ever, people are in that mindset of they have these dreams and ideas to be filmmakers, but they don't necessarily, because of technology, you don't need to commit completely to like relocating or spending years making a film. You could spend a couple hours and make a really cool little short, I would call it a film with quotes, but it's like a film that totally has an audience and it has a purpose and it sends a message, and you get to create, whether you're into visuals or storytelling. It's your free time filmmaker. I kind of think the original logo is a guy holding like a camera, and I almost think I should change the logo so the person is like a hand holding a camera. Phone camera. Are phones cameras or are cameras phones? I'll let you think about that and get back to me on that. More slow-mo. So a lot of these slow motion. I mean, if that is a phone that's able to focus that quick, that's amazing. I'm thinking somebody's either on the phone, because you can use apps that let you have manual control over it. I know if you use Filmic Pro on the iPhone, it has a little focus dial, so somebody could position both and flick it really quick. If I was going to do this in real life, I would probably just lock the focus there, and then I would have the person always be out of focus and bring him in. Let's see what we got here. Slow motion. There's some extra use out of a ring light, right? Oh, Liam, the hand drawn. I was just thinking about those today. So that's hilarious, dude. I have them. They're right. I just opened a box and I found all of them, and I was like, oh, I never mailed these out. That just happened yesterday. I was looking for some paperwork. Yeah, I relocated. Hey, we got Eric hanging out incognito. Um, we're just watching some TikToks. Hey, what better way to watch TikTok than on YouTube in a live stream? What do we got here? Cool little silhouette. But Aline was just talking about, that's hilarious. If you did win one of those, send a message again through Free Time Filmmaker, and I'll send it out. Like I still have them. I thought I lost them. I was like, man, I packed up everything and when I moved, and some of that stuff was just like fun little projects and things I was gonna mail out, and they never got mailed. But that's awesome that just came up. See, that's the stuff I think about, because there's old videos that I still have that I want to share that I don't even know if they're relevant. But anyways, this is a cool little effect. You could totally, someone could do this with just a magazine cutout. Boom. Why would they do that? I don't know. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, those little ladders, I wonder if I had a larger studio, I'd probably build some of those. That seems like a useful tool, because it's like a ladder, but it's got a lot of like mounting points, and since it's just made out of raw wood, you could just put screws and hooks and stuff into it and not worry about it. That's pretty neat though. That's totally something. That's pretty elaborate actually. You got to think that one through if you were going to do, oh, she missed it. But if you were going to do an effect where you had to pull a string, curtain shoot up, waterfalls. Let's watch this again. So she does that. She puts that up. She puts a million holes in a bucket, fills it with water. That's serious business. Holy smokes, look at that. That's really cool, but then it's also kind of sad, because like, wow, all this work just to do something I could have had like a friend just help with, right? Slow motion. Some basic backlighting. It looks like there's a fan, or somebody might have the edge of her dress and they're just waving it. I think that water's real, right? Bubbles. Oh yeah, I've done this before. You can get, if you've ever seen those one size fit all winter gloves, like those cheap ones you can see right at the register, usually at stores, the fabric or the material, the yarn, doesn't pop the balloons, and you can totally juggle. I say balloons, juggle the bubbles. Oh, that one's in reverse. You see that? But this is a perfect example. So the light's behind her, shining towards the camera, and it makes those bubbles just stand out. Like if you try to light those bubbles from the front, you'll still see them, but they have a whole different look. Oh, I get it. It took a second. You see the hearts inside the bubbles? Yes, I'm slow. Look at this fancy seltzer water. It just says seltzer water. The hearts. I didn't understand the first time I watched it. Why are the hearts there? It gives the reflection on the bubble. Wow, that is really cool. Oh, looks like we're at the end. So let me check out some of these comments. I'm gonna move you guys over here for a moment. There we go. And I also wanted to, wow, that light highlights my windscreen there. All right, let's see what we got here. How's everyone doing tonight? Thanks again for hanging out. I hope some of these were inspirational. I know, like, even seeing that last one there and seeing the little hearts, that's the kind of stuff that's like real subtle, but you think about if you had reflections or windows or glass, it's like you could just put a little scrim or a cutout over one of the lights, and it would just be a real subtle little subliminal thing that you might know about, but most people wouldn't when the first time they watch a film. But I will bring up those two videos I mentioned on my TikTok. This is a restream, cheap. Eric, I messed up because I ran the other one and I left the sound on thinking it would be fine since I'm doing commentary, and it got struck with every copyright on every single song. It was actually, I did a screenshot of it. I wonder if I could bring it up. It was hilarious. Um, actually, let me see if I can grab it and bring it up because I think it's funny. Let's do a video source. This is all about the real deal. See, this is OBS in action. I'm gonna bring the source. I'm gonna drop it in. You ready for this? Here we go. This is gonna be pretty funny. Don't stream on TikTok. Here it is. Look at this. Every one of those songs got me. They got me good. They got me good. Look at that. Come on. I thought maybe one might get hit and that would just make up for all of them, but nope. The new system is every song got clipped. And I was going to try to experiment and do screen captures of how to mute it and stuff, but it wasn't really worth all the effort. But let me bring up, I'm going to go back here on my phone and I'm going to bring up the 2 videos I mentioned to you guys. And I'll probably have to cut this. We'll probably cut pretty soon here, but I wanted to at least mention, I've been creating some of these videos on TikTok. I like the way it's set up. I like the shareability of some of the videos. That's one of the big things. But let me show you the video with the little letters that I mentioned. These are old letters. You can get them on eBay. And the video explains it. And I have to think about this. This is what's a bummer with videos on TikTok. It lets you just drop in any soundtrack. And I'm wondering if the video has a soundtrack. So I'm going to keep it muted, but I can narrate through it. I think that's how we'll do it because I don't want to take a chance and have it strike me again, strike me down. So here we are. We got some good stuff here. These are the letters if you haven't seen it. So this is what's really cool. So these little letters, these are Hernard 3D title letters. I've had these for years, and this is the 3rd time I've ever used them. I actually did use them in a 16mm film, but they're titles that you can just lay down on a blank canvas like that, or in this case, you can use some tack, stick them on glass, and then film through the glass. And this is a practical title effect that you can create using the old 16mm and Super 8 cameras like that. And in this case, I just mounted the glass frame. It's really tricky. You can see all the reflections right there. So it makes it really tricky. That's me before a haircut. And then it just snaps on and snaps off. It kind of has a cool film look for sure because it just has this very real look to it. And like I mentioned before, you can just set these things up. They're pretty, they're about an inch tall. So you can just set them up on objects and just have your titles within your shot. But yeah, you can look those up on eBay, and there's different fonts I found out. These are the only ones I've had, and a channel that I watch, TheCrafsMan, he was showing some of these, and I was like, oh wow, I've never seen anyone talk about these before. So let me see what else. Let me get out of there. There was this other video, I think I mentioned it, I can't think of it exactly. There's a lot of good ones, so if you guys are bored, you can check out. You can see I've started to title some of them, things that are in my camera bag. What was the other video I wanted to mention that I created? Does anyone remember? What am I even talking about? Let's see here. There was something, and then if I can't find it, then I'll just move right along. This is a random one. This isn't really what I wanted to show you, but I want to show you now. This, if you have an iPhone, it might already work like this, but I never knew this. But if you are typing and you're having issues with your big sausage fingers, you can use the space bar. So if you press and hold on the space bar on the phone, it instantly becomes an active cursor that lets you move around your cursor and see how the screen goes blank with your letters. And now you can move around. Look at that. That is a game changer. Game changer. So that's a bonus. That's a free bonus. Oh, this is what I wanted to show you, the Army Men. So check this out. And this has a really cool soundtrack. Yeah, definitely check it out on TikTok because it's got the White Stripes soundtrack. 7 Nation Army. But yeah, this is an effect I did back in the VHS days when I was a kid. I thought I'm gonna try to create an army scene. So you put a light in front of the men there, and look at the silhouettes. Look at that. I'm just moving the light across. Am I talking that up big time? Maybe I'm a little too overexcited. I think, but like this is the kind of stuff that I could make a whole video about, and it would probably be fun to watch. But it's pretty much there. It is. That's what it is. Look at that. You see that one guy? One guy's headless. Spoiler alert. But yeah, this was an effect that I never really had a purpose for, but I thought if you had a bright enough light, you could actually make those silhouettes life size. So if they were in the background of a scene, or if you had a light that maybe was just like taped to a fan so it was moving, it would look like people are moving. Or if you had two different tables, right? This is where it starts getting elaborate. Two different tables. Now you have people actually like, what is it called? Parallaxing, where they're moving in different, what am I even talking about? But look at that. We'll watch it one more time. Yeah, I think that is such a cool thing. And I was happy. It got shared around. And I really don't try to focus too much on the views, but it is nice when you see stuff that gets a little bit more views. I know I kept reposting this watermelon video just to see if I was doing recuts. You might have saw my other live stream where I re-edited it. I edited it again just to see if maybe there's all these, different strategies just to try to get people's attention or play the algorithm game and all that other stuff. But yeah, there's some really cool stuff on here. Not to brag too much about my stuff. There's some random stuff too, but that's what I think is fun. It kind of makes it more fun than just posting to YouTube because I don't feel like I have to be locked into a specific thing. But we're going to close this out here pretty soon. So if you have any questions, it's good to see you, Eric. I'm glad you're here hanging out. Late night party animal over there. Yeah. Hey guys, stay till the end. That's what I'll do, Eric. I'll post my TikToks on YouTube and make them 10-minute long videos. I'm sure I could rattle on more and more about them, but I feel like there is, and this is just my personal perspective, I feel like there is a respect that's needed to be had by the creators, knowing that times are changing and people's time is very valuable. So if you're rattling on about something, and even this live stream like this, people that tune in, I want to make sure it says live stream because it's going to be a little bit more long-winded, but I really don't want to have it be like lazy, and that's where I'm still learning because I'm like, well, it's nice just to get a video out. I know as a viewer, it's just fun just to see stuff compared to letting it sit for 6 months in the editing software, just waiting to get outputted. But how old am I? Whew. It's hard to keep track, but I know that my birthday's coming up in September, so I'm going to be a little bit older. But I'm younger than 50. For sure. Manual camera apps for the Android. I usually try to keep track of that. The only one, if you're talking about a manual camera, the only app that I think is available on Android, it's not really manual, but it is an app that I like. It's called Huji. And I think it just looks like a vintage disposable camera. HUGJI. Pretty cool. But anyways, I guess that's pretty much all for now. If there's anything else, you can definitely leave a comment. I'll come back. I'm not sure exactly how these live streams work, because what I do is after they post, I re-edit them, and I think it might actually share out a new video, so any of the comments happening right now will disappear or won't be on that new video that is actually published. So if that happens, then leave your comment on that new video. It'll probably be ready by tomorrow. Oh, Christian, your birthday is this 30th? Oh, cool. Happy birthday. And wait, is it? Oh, okay. I was like, it's not the 30th yet, is it? Okay, we got a couple more weeks. The months are just flying by, and I know everyone's like, oh, let's just get through the year. But I don't know what next year might be. This might be the good old days. We might not even know it. All right, Eric. Let's listen. And I keep referring to cheap reviews there. We got Eric. Let's see what your video idea is. I'm ready for it. And Aleem, what do we got here? Sony E-mount, yeah. 16 to 50. Yeah, I've been using Lumix, but I'm ready to switch over. I'm ready to switch over to use Sony just for the quickness of documenting stuff. And there's just enough manual settings just to get stuff done if I need to. 3 intro titles for your short film. That's your idea. So let me think here. 3 intro titles. I know this is going to be probably hard to like describe this, Eric, over the chat. 3 intro titles. I feel like you need to elaborate a little bit more just to make sure. Oh, you know what I was thinking about? I was like, what's in my pocket? I had these, Peter McKinnon recommended these. If you watch some of his stuff, you probably have. He talked about this website that gives these little booklets of stickers. And so I thought I'm going to try it. And sure enough, actually, I think I'll use one. I'll use one right here. I'll just stick it on. I always end up wanting to save stickers, but I got a book of like 100. I'm going to just put this thing. Where should I put it? Right here? Yeah, let's put it right here. Let's see how this looks. You know, I'll boom. There it is. Boom. Got it. I don't know if I'm even going to stay with that logo, but I got a bunch of stickers with it, so there it is. But yeah, it's really cool. These stickers are really nicely made, and his recommendation was to put these on all the equipment. My problem is I don't like my equipment having stickers all over it, but I thought, you know, I'm going to try it. So I put it on a few things and I'll see how it wears. And then if it wears nicely and it doesn't just like flake off or wear off or peel, then I'll probably put it on more things. But I don't really do a lot of stuff like the old days with a lot of other people using my stuff or chances of things getting mixed up. It's usually just me. So everything there is my stuff. Oh, okay. For the title intro, Eric. Okay, I get you. Letters, soldiers, text overlay. Yeah, I get you. I get you. Layer those ideas all together. That's actually pretty good. Pretty good. That's such a good idea. You win a sticker pack. I'll send it out to you. Oh, wait, I already did. Never mind. But Aline, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for reminding me about that drawing, the hand-drawn stuff. I'll still send that stuff. I think that's fun. That was sort of the whole reason I wanted to build a small community of filmmakers. It's weird because it's something I talked to Knives Monroe about. And if you haven't seen some of his stuff, he's been posting some really cool stuff on Indie Darlings. If you don't know what that is, you can look it up. Just type in INDIE Darlings, and you'll see Knives Monroe. And he's been sharing some really cool apps and a lot of other cool stuff with the same premise, just the filmmaking thing. But I know there's the idea of a filmmaker, and because apps like TikTok have such a brand or a concept of like, oh, it's the app where everyone just dances around or they, you know, just lip syncs to things. And there definitely is that, but there actually are, once you find them, and I would just say if you find my channel, if you have the app, go to my channel and just see who I'm following if you're able to see that, and just check out some of the people I'm following, because some of those people are either entertaining and funny or really creative. I would call them filmmakers or artists. So that'll get you a head start, and that'll kind of probably set the algorithm up to start sharing more stuff like that if you're looking to follow more creatives like that. Here I am again, still talking up the TikToks, mostly because I mentioned Peter McKinnon. You know, this was a cool recommendation, but I don't have like 30 minutes every time he uploads a video to like watch something. So it's like, if he was posting little 15-second tips on TikTok, I would probably be learning all kinds of new things. So that's something else too, that I feel like I can watch a lot more videos, and you can see that. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Enough about TikTok. All right, Alex. Yeah, custom stickers. I sorry if I missed anything. This mic right here I picked up at the Goodwill, and I don't even know the name of it. Oh, here it is, right on the front. It's just like it's called the U37, CAD U37. It's a USB microphone, and it's like one of these things. I found it at the Goodwill with this windscreen, and it's like I usually don't find many good deals there ever. And this was pre-pandemic, so it was a while back, but $15, I think, maybe $8 or $15. I feel like there was something else I bought there that was $15, but the only thing it does, you can't really see it there. When it's on, it flashes this blue light, and I had to tape over it because it drives me insane. 2-Minute Tuesdays. Yes, man. And I was gonna make a video, and I'll talk about this a little bit. Maybe it'll get cut out, so you guys might be getting the only version of this. But I was gonna make a video of sharing a lot of the channels that I follow that I will know that I'm not going to follow. I unfollowed because I was like, got to the point where I was watching so many filmmaking tips and tricks. It wasn't even filmmaking tips. It was product review channels. I was like, I can't watch any more people talk about. If I want to know about this stuff, I'll just look it up. I'll watch a few videos. I don't need to follow them. And it was just a personal decision for me because I kept finding myself getting pulled into it, or it's easy to obsess about the equipment. And Aleem, I know you were mentioning some of the equipment you're getting, and let me just scroll back here a little bit. Seems pretty cool. Let me just go back just to make sure. Yeah, the A6000, super cool camera. And like what I'm realizing too more and more is getting something documented and uploaded is better than it'll be ready soon. It'll be ready soon. But obviously though, that's the whole thing. If you're worried about getting the best quality, then maybe things just take longer. But what was I saying before? But anyways, yeah, so I unfollowed all these YouTube channels, and I still I follow them on Twitter and stuff, so I get updates there, but I just couldn't commit to like seeing my inbox. Like I'm trying to find creative and new like concepts and ideas, and all I'm getting is just like, check out this new LED light, check out this camera attachment. And I'm like, no, I need to follow people that just are doing things completely unrelated to like what filmmaking technology, right? And so that's where I started following. I've been following for a while, like my friend Brandon. He's got a fishing channel, but he documents the stuff, and he's a filmmaker, so he's got some really cool, like he's got a film that he finished, I think maybe 2 films, really cool stuff, and then just all of his fishing stuff with his fishing channel. But the way he documents it, it's like a cinematic perspective on some of the stuff, and most of it's all done solo. So it's like, yeah, it's a fishing channel, but he's a filmmaker doing solo filmmaking with the subject, and I feel like that's the thing that gets kind of lost, or it's the trick that I don't think a lot of really successful YouTubers talk about. The technology, like the stupid microphones and cameras and stuff, it's easy to get caught up and try to find the best one. But what I realize is the only reason they're even thinking about it is just they're the easiest equipment to use to document the thing they really love, which is maybe it's surfing or skateboarding or roller skating or something. And that's the key where I found myself falling in love with the equipment. And so it's like, oh yeah, let me make another video about equipment stuff. And it's like, no, I have other interests. I forgot I have other things I want to document. So hopefully you'll see some more of that, I do go to the thrifting a lot, do a lot of thrifting. So I'd like to document some of those finds. And there's some really interesting things. And the cool thing is it intermingles all together with filmmaking, because I come across a lot of old camera equipment, specifically photography, but it's still visual stuff, and a lot of the gear can cross mingle with video cameras. I know I found this really cool handle a while back, and I'm gonna try to make a mount for it so it's like super ergonomic. It's crazy. But let's see what we got here. Eric, I have not watched Voon Cat City. Eric's making a recommendation if you're watching the comments. Voon Cat City. I have Andy Axe. Yeah, I was following him. I think I still follow him because he doesn't post that much. I think it was a lot of the people, and I followed D for Darius. I enjoy his stuff, and he seems to have very useful information. He doesn't really go too deep into the tech stuff, and I love how simple it is. He just puts a GoPro on his head and documents the behind the scenes. It's super awesome. Yeah, Alex, see, you went down that same issue of like the equipment. And the thing is, it's like it's easy because it's like we're around it all the time. Let's talk about it, which is cool. I think there's a lot of really useful videos out there, and I think a lot of people really enjoy talking about, like Caleb Pike, I think loves talking about equipment. But I don't think I consider him necessarily a filmmaker, because other than, I don't know if I'm not following all of the posts he's posting, but I don't think I've ever seen him post a video that he's made with any of the equipment other than his tutorials on equipment, which are actually, I mean, they're really well done, but it's not the type of productions that I'm trying to be inspired by necessarily, if that makes sense. It's businessy, but I think that's where there's guys like that where I try to just see, okay, just throw out a couple films or throw out a little sampling. And like I mentioned before, you can see the stuff that I'm doing over on Peter Sripol's channel, and obviously he's the main guy, so he has a lot of input over the edit and stuff. But most of the documentation and editing is stuff that I just kind of put together myself. So there's some creative input there, and I think it does show a little bit of my production style, but it's specific for YouTube. So I'm not trying to impress filmmakers with it, but I am trying to tell a good story on YouTube. So there, I'm doing it. Why can't everyone else? No, but I think it's cool to see people, and I that's what the reason I didn't make the video, because I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna make a video about this because I don't want to make it look like I'm trying to like diss anybody. I just personally was getting overwhelmed with too much tech, especially when I realized I have never wore out a camera. You ever thought about that? Have you ever wore out equipment? I'm not talking about dropping it and breaking it, but just like using it so much that it gets wore out. I've always been so afraid to use my equipment that I don't use it. But I think about my phone. I have an iPhone 6S. It's an older model. It goes back, but it's like, it works. It's getting a little finicky. It's getting a little weird, glitching out. But I feel like I need to use everything the way I'm using that phone, where I'm just like, the case is all beat up. It's cracked and broken. I had to put another screen protector on it. I replaced the battery in it, and I probably gonna have to replace it again. But I'm like, that has been the most used camera I've ever owned, and I love it because I feel like it's real. It's like, that's what I want all my equipment to be. It's like stuff that gets used because I'm filming stuff, I'm documenting stuff. But it's that thing of, yeah, but I don't want it to break because I can't afford to replace it. So I think that's the main thing that usually keeps me from really using my equipment. But that's one of the reasons I want to switch over. I use on Peter's channel on that production, and we use Sony on everything. It's a Sony 6400 and I think a Sony 6500 are the two cameras, a newer one that we use for more of the cleaner production stuff. And then when we have to put the camera down into the, close to harm's way, we'll use the older camera. But I mean, the autofocus on that thing just gets it pretty much. The lens has a nice zoom range, and it's probably going to be what I'm going to switch over to, because you can get a hold of the older cameras a little bit cheaper. All right, let's see what got going on in the chat here. You guys are just chatting it up. Yeah, I'll check out, I think I'm saying it wrong, Ven Style. 90s, like, okay, that's exciting. Okay, cool, that'll be good. Very nice. Alex was talking about robot vacuums. I'm gonna have to scroll back because now I feel like I'm missing out on some good conversation, ranting on about video equipment. Vacuum wars? Vacuum wars? Alright, I'll have to check that out too. Wow, you guys that's what it's all about, man. I'm actually gonna write that one down. See, this is real stuff. What is the name of that again? Ven Views? Is that what it was? Ven? Yeah, vacuum wars. That better not be fake. All right, guys, I think I'm going to head out. Thanks again for hanging out. What time is it? Yeah, we got a full hour in. A little choppy chop, clean up this, edit a little bit. And hopefully this one will live online and somebody got some value out of it. Thanks for hanging out. I'm still making videos. I have a really cool tutorial, and it is almost done, actually. I was actually going to film it tonight, and then I decided to do this. But it's a neat little teleprompter trick. And if you've been watching the Frugal Filmmaker, he did a DIY teleprompter, so this could even be integrated into that. Whoa, that'd be cool. But yeah, if you haven't watched his stuff either, definitely check out. He's got some really cool tips, and he's been, as far as I can tell, he's been bringing it back. A lot of cool builds and projects, and he seems really motivated to create some new things, and I think that's the kind of stuff I like. But I know that Amazon and eBay kind of changed a lot of that DIY community, because their stuff is so cheap now that it's like, is it really worth going and building it yourself? It's going to cost like hundreds of dollars just to get the tools to make the stuff. But there's still some things that definitely save some money. But everyone else hanging out, yeah, Eric, I'll get that review out. I think it actually, I'll make it a point. This will be the month it'll end up online. But in the meantime, keep watching over on Instagram on KnobTop, the Free Time Filmmaker. Instagram is still there, and mostly on TikTok for daily videos. I usually post there every day, at least something. just to know I'm still kicking. Yeah, man. Well, thanks, Alex. Thanks, everyone else, for hanging out in the live stream here. I appreciate it. And I think it was Christian that helped me out with my mic earlier. We had some technical issues. I didn't even have my mic plugged in because, you know, that's how professional I am over here. All right, thanks again. I'm going to head out. I'm going to do it like I always do and head out with a countdown. So feel free to chat for a little bit. I am coming to you live from Ohio. So living it up on the East Coast, I guess. Yeah, we're on the East Coast. Thanks again for the help, Christian. Eric, good to see you. Glad you're still kicking it, man. I don't even log into Twitter anymore, man. That's what happens. There's nothing left for me there. All right, I'll chat with you later, man. I'll see you.